Okay, this is the detailed room tour that I said I was going to do. I thought we did a pretty good job on the desk tour. If you haven't seen that, it is attached to this playlist, so you can go and see. There is a detailed desk tour. This is my craft room when you walk in. And I've already done a kind of quick overview tour, but this is more detailed where I go in drawers and do all that kind of stuff. So if you just want a quick overview, that's also in the playlist too. And I'll put it in the description box in case you want to just go straight to it, okay? All right, anyway, this is what it looks like when you walk in my room. And it is a room that is about 10 by 11, so it's not real big, and I have a lot of stuff jam-packed in here. To be perfectly honest, I have stuff in other rooms, but the things that I use all the time, they're all in this room. Okay, so I'm going to start at the very beginning. This is the back of my door. I have a kind of a bulletin board type thing that I made years ago, and I think this is just an old frame, and I put different ribbons and sequins, and this is my whole zebra thing that I had going. And honestly, I've thought about changing it, but I'm kind of just too lazy. It kind of sort of works. So I had the black furniture that I have in this room. I started out with some hand-me-downs from my son's room that were that armoire and a couple of these bookshelves. And I had that and just a few shelves, and that's all I had. So I had a white table in here, so I had to mix the black and white. So I did black. I started out with black and white and pink, and I just kind of mixed those together with the zebra, and that's kind of how I came up with that color scheme. And then I added in the blue color, probably, I don't know, maybe about a year ago, just to add some different color in it. I'm not sure it works, but it's good enough. I'm not looking for a matchy perfect craft room. I'm just, trying to thrift my craft room. I don't like things too perfect because I feel I'd be stressed out about keeping it that way. I don't want to do that. And if something costs a lot of money, then that's just stressful for me. Okay, so anyway, that's my bulletin board, and that's how I came up with my color scheme. I found this scarf at the dollar store, and so if I could find some material like that, I'd probably redo my curtains like that, but that's what added in that other kind of turquoisey green, mint green probably color. This is, we bought our travel trailer and we're traveling, and I still need to put something on here. I was going to put our last name, and I just never gotten around to it. And I just have little pictures and mementos and that type of thing up there. On this wall, this isn't working the way I thought it would be. When I go around the room, I'll be talking about things that I'm probably going to be changing out. And I will be doing a series of organization videos. And I don't know how often I'll do them. Maybe once a week, maybe every other week. I don't know. But I had these already. I had bought them ages ago, and they had this little thing on here, and I put these dowels on there to put some ribbons. Well, I really end up not using them because it's a pain getting these ribbons off. I do have all my extra buttons that I don't have at my desk up there, and that's one thing I forgot to show you guys are the buttons on the desk tour, but I'll whip by there and show you real quick. The buttons are okay, but the ribbons, it really is a pain using them that way, so I only have a few there. So I'd probably be changing that. This is my sewing cart, and I love this because it allows me the freedom to put it, it tucks kind of behind my door, and I can still open and close my door easily. So I love that. It's a thinner cart, and it moves very, behind that, this is a entrance to the attic, which does have some storage, and I was going to put some stuff behind there, but I decided not to because I just knew that stuff would get stuck in there and then I'd never take it out. But anyway, it was already framed out like this, so I just put chalk paint on it, and you can use it as a chalkboard. But I've only probably done that a couple times. Anyway, this cart, and I went into detail what was in it in my other video, but so I won't do that. But I did want to show you that it does roll, and it rolls very easily, and I can keep it, and I often do keep it at the edge of my desk like this, and I can just pull it this way and use it next to my chair that's sitting over there, and that way I have it right next to me. I don't have to go to a separate spot, which I used to do. So if you've looked at my old craft room video, I had a separate table that I would go to, and that's how I used it. And I'm going to move this back real quickly so I can have room to show you the rest. It is a tight space, and I have to really work at making sure that every inch is utilized well. So I went into what's in all these drawers in my detailed desk video, so I won't go into that. Over here I have my typewriter. I bought this for $25 on Facebook Marketplace. I know that there's replica vintage typewriters out there, but they're pretty pricey. This basically works great. I did not get a refurbished one because I usually charge quite a bit for that. And most of the time refurbished means they just cleaned them up and added a little oil. So I did that on my own. And then it's a manual, and it works really well. The one thing you want to make sure if you do get one is make sure it's one that they still make ribbons for. So, because most of the time you're going to have to buy a new ribbon. So just make sure you do that. But I paid $25 for that. Okay, behind here I have these drawers, and I have two sets that have all my beads in it. I used to do a lot of jewelry making, and I still have all of that stuff. So I have these, and more than likely I'm going to be changing this and mounting these on the wall where my little button ribbon things are, and pretty much putting the ribbon things over here and putting something else on them. Up here are my journals that I use. This was my December daily. These are a couple of others, and the ones that I make and sell, I have, they're all in my room where I have all my postage stuff. If I have it listed on my Etsy, I already have it packaged up because you have to know the weight and everything. Up here on this shelf, this is all jewelry stuff that I use, different sorters. And these boxes here have more stuff. These are like all findings and stuff like that. So pretty much that whole shelf up there is jewelry. The only thing is I have these few journals sitting up there only because I didn't have anywhere else to put them. This box has become my kind of my sorting box when I have things that I need to put away in my craft room. I'm hopefully going to just keep it confined to this box. We shall see. It's highly unlikely. But that way, once this gets full, I make sure I put everything away. Behind there, I just have a stereo that I play sometimes while I'm in here. This drawers down here, these came from the Container Store. Let me move that back a little bit. These came from the Container Store, and I have a set of 6 of these that I bought for $100. And again, I got those on Facebook Marketplace. Somebody was moving. The top drawer, I have all of my embroidery stuff. This drawer and the one underneath it, I have kind of my blingy trim that I get it from thrift stores. This is kind of all my, a lot of my vintage handkerchiefs and napkins and things like that. It does have a few other things in there, but that's mainly what it is. This is a lot of just fabrics that I have. I do need to sort through all of that. That's another thing that I need to get done. I have some more down here. This next one, this is all kind of burlap-y type ribbon. This is just other ribbons, different types of things that I have in there. This is, again, more ribbons. I do have like some kind of tie-dye-y. See, this is why I need to organize it more. I do have some other cottony materials in here, and they really shouldn't be in there because I might forget to look there when I'm looking on the other side. These are all vintage, you know, tablecloth and doilies and stuff like that. This last one is kind of like different clothes and things I've cut apart that have lace on it or other trim that I might want. This is the desk of shame, or not desk, but file cabinet. And honestly, guys, I don't even want to show you what's in here because, well, I'll show you a little. I did buy these to start organizing in here, and that will be one video where I show you what I do with that. The rest is kind of not organized. This is paper, but I don't have it very organized. This is all my 8.5 by 11 or smaller pieces of solid paper that I did not put in my filing cabinet. This is the part that I need. There's like, I'm not even using this. It's just things are thrown in there. And the last one's kind of the same way. So I do need to go through this. You can't waste space when you have a little craft room like this. So here I have my Canon printer that prints 12 by 12. I do use this a lot. I just got an Epson printer, but I still use this for things. It does really good pictures and that kind of thing. Underneath here in this organizer, I have my label maker, kind of office stuff. I have a scanner, a wand scanner, and just some different things in here, electronic things. This one is all kind of office stuff. My extra ink, paper clips, oil for my typewriter, chalk, some old stamps, you know, paid, received, that kind of thing. This is my stuff that I have for all my planners. I used to do a lot more of that, but I don't do that much, but I still have quite a bit. I've got more stuff in here for planners. This is my little golden book, just Christmas books. Most of those are very vintage. This last one here, I just cleared this out for this, but I have these are all books that I tear pages out of for some, you know, for different reasons. Okay, it's getting kind of dark down there, I know. This top one here, again, these are all books that I used to tear things out of. This one is, again, this one is all vintage things that I have that I use in my journals and vintage pages. This is the same thing, all vintage. This has to do with cookbooks. And the one before that had to do, this is all to do with nature. This one here, this is, let me move this. This is my golden books. And these are all my other ones that are not Christmas, okay? This down here, this is just all craft things that I might use in my golden books, and they're just kind of miscellaneous. I'm probably going to clean this out and take a lot of this stuff out of this room because I don't really use it. Up on top, I have, these are my ephemera holders right here. I have 2 of them. I'm looking to buy one more because I think I need one more. On top of that, I have a basket, and this has helped me, but it's starting to get full. This is all the stuff that I end up not using when I think, you know, I have out on my desk and stuff. And so I put it in here to hopefully file back in here. And at least if I don't get to filing it, I know what this is, and I can look through that if I have to. Behind there, I have, this is all of my extra camera equipment and stuff like that. It's in this container here. On top, I have, these things are all my kind of dump things for little golden book projects, 3-ring projects, altered books. These are a lot of altered book covers in here from very vintage books that I'm hopefully going to make journals out of. These are all manuals. They all go in one place for all of the electronic equipment and stuff that I have, so that I have them, you know, where I can just go. I hardly ever use them, but if I need them, they're all in here. This is just photo paper and more photo paper that I mainly use with my Canon printer. Let's see, what else? I only have this one little window, and I made my little zebra shade thing on there with my pink trim. Okay, my shelves, I think I'll go over those. These 4 containers right here are all bling, and I just did this because they were in smaller containers that I had from the actually they were in these right here, but they were too short because a lot of the bling comes in these long strips. So I got 4 containers that these would fit in. So that's all blingy stuff, okay? This stuff in here is kind of overflow ephemera, and that's why I kind of want another container. There's a few empty ones up here, but these are the things I use the least, so I put them up in here. But I do think I need another holder. This is just 2 boxes of flowers. I have separated by the kind of the white flowers that you can color, and then this box is basically the ones that are already a color. I try and keep them separated, but you know, I don't use them that much anymore, but I still like to have them, and I'm just not going to buy anymore. This container has just basically sequins and all other kinds of blingy stuff that you might use. I don't know what else is in here. You know, so that's all that is. That's all that's in there. These containers are different things, and these are all from the dollar store. This is kind of a miscellaneous. I'm going to dump stuff in here. I don't know where it should go. This is my hot wax seal stuff, which is kind of overflowing. I probably need to put it in a bigger container. These are just all brads, and There's some dots on here too for scrapbooking, which I don't really use that much anymore because I don't do that much scrapbooking anymore, but I still do some. These are all vintage button cards and things. Mainly I got these from my mom's button box, and this is my old label maker thing, and I use that. This thing back here, all has to do with quotes and words and sayings and things like that, and just some quote books and things. So if I want to quote something, I can type it out on my typewriter or my computer or whatever. And let me put this back. Oops. All right, and that is too full. Put that back over here. This right here, I have to move this candle thing to get to it. So I don't know if this is a great spot for this, but it's kind of dead space. So I just put it there. These containers over here, they just kind of hold, and it doesn't really make sense for them to be here. But these are all like charms and things that I use on my journals. Even though I use a lot of my beads and stuff, I still have these all separated. This thing here, and there's really no way to get into all this unless I move this, which I'm not going to do. But these are all of my different types of watercolor paints. Here, I guess I will move it. It's not that big a deal. I can just lift it up. But that's kind of why I put it there. Anyway, these are all, you know, my alcohol markers, different types of markers. I don't know. Colored pencils, watercolor pencils. I don't even know what's in here. And a lot of this is just either I kept them in the original container, or I just you know, I buy these at the dollar store because I use them so infrequently they tend to dry out. And also I make alcohol ink with those, and I have a video out there. But I have all these different types of mediums in here between markers and all that. And that's what I was talking about before, is I am going to probably change where I keep this because it tends to not get used because it's kind of hard to get to. So anyway, behind my desk, I didn't show you this. I did show under my desk in my other videos, so I won't do that. These are all filled with, I'll just take one of them out, but these are all just filled with, if I can open it, it's real hard to do all this one-handed. This is just all kind of sewing stuff. So all of these are just different threads and things and tools that I use with my sewing machine. And I had this extra space, didn't mean to go that fast, right here. And so I just put it in there. I didn't show and when I did my desk tour, my buttons. These are buttons I use all the time, and when I'm sitting at my desk, I can pull this little cart down and I can get to my buttons. And I have thread here to put little things in there. And I also have a place for extra threads that I put in there. So I didn't show that on my desk, so I just thought I would do that. Okay, let's see. I did under my desk before, so I'm going to go over here. Oh, my television is right there. I did show that. And, you know, I watch it all the time when I'm up here. On top, all of those bins up there, those are kind of crafts that I do occasionally, and some extra overflow. There's extra flow sewing stuff. The top one up there is spray bottles that I tend to use a lot. Those are molds and things I do with air clay and whatever. That is all kind of clothing that I'm kind of harvesting material, but I may get rid of a bunch of that because I just have too much. This over here is all either Halloween or fall. And let's see if I go this way. Up here, this is all quilts and things, and pieces of quilt that for journals. This is all my Reader's Digest. These are other books that I might, in the Reader's Digest, I use, to make junk journals, and this is other books that I would use for junk journals. The rest of this, these three are all scrapbooking. Either ones, journals, things I'm working on, empty ones, and empty ones. The end is just some paint and a projector thing that I don't really use very often, but I didn't really want to put it in the garage. It gets too hot. Let's see, let's go over here. Up here is, I have some bins that I use to sort things out, and I keep them empty over here. On the side, I have just some pins for my bulletin board. In this little thing right here, I have just some manuals and reference guides that all go to the things that are on in this shelf. This is just a picture of me and my friends when they took me on a trip to Vegas for my 60th birthday. This is my little water fountain that my oldest son gave me when he was about 10. It's an electronic one. It still works, and I don't really ever use it, but I like it in here. I use this all the time, and just put different type of essential oils in it. This is the thingy that makes my internet work in this room, otherwise it won't work. This is one of the shelf things, and these are adjustable shelves, and I really should adjust them because I could get better use of my space. This is just, when you go to Tuesday morning, they always have the different boards and things, and I have a lot of different ones in here. I'm not going to go through all of them, but this is just the little rack that you get. There's two of them. There's one in the back and one here, and they're next to each other. And I just put my different punch boards and things in here, and trimmer. This is one of those wavy trimmers. Anyway, I put all that in here. I have an extra trimmer in here. My punch board, there's a few more back here, and that's all that's on this shelf, and the manuals for those are in here. This shelf all has to do with binding. I have a cinch here. I have a bunch of the little binding for cinch that I bought. I buy in bulk, so I have a bunch of them in there. This is just a big heavy-duty 3-hole punch. I have several different elastics in here. This little pink thing has all of my wax thread, my awl, and my needle to bind things. Down here, all of these, and I don't have them marked right. That's another thing I'm going to do. But this is all finished ephemera that I've done, and it's all separated by type, whether it's nature journal or romantic or Halloween or whatever. They're all, or boho, they're all in there separate. I do need to remark those. On the very bottom, these are just, and I made these on my channel, but these are just photo storage that I've made into a little ephemera holders. And I've got nature, and I've got some other ones, and I've got Christmas. These are all how I store a lot of my ledger paper that I use and stuff like that in my journals. So they're all in here, different, and I do have little dividers in them. But I do need to label those. I'm really bad at labeling, partly because I know where everything is, to me. I don't see a point. I don't really label things that I can see. I did for a while, and I realized how stupid that was, because you can see it. It's a clear box. Why are you labeling it, you know? Okay, on the side here, I have my little paper holder, and when I'm making copies, I have extra paper here just so I don't have to go dig in my drawer under my desk. This is just for me to put things, since I don't have a big area here as I'm doing that. This pegboard here has a bunch of tools and stuff on it, and I was going to move all that, but I didn't. I don't really need this space, so I'm thinking I might just leave it there. I do have my own tools because my husband, I don't know, and I really have trained him to not touch my stuff because he used to take it and lose it. But I have my own stuff here that I use, and I used to do a lot of different crafts, but occasionally I want to do something and you need these things, and I like to know where they are. So I'm not going to go through all the stuff here. It's pretty obvious. Anyway, so that's that. I do have my Epson Eco printer here. I just bought this. I don't remember which one's new. One of these carts is new. I had one, and I had it behind my door, and it was actually too wide. It made it really hard to open my door. So I did have a table here, and I got to thinking about it, and I thought, you can't really, I mean, I would stack stuff under the table, but I thought that's really not a good use of space. So I went ahead and put this over here. And then I decided to get another one, which was hard because I think this is discontinued. And so I did find one, but I have two, and my Scan and Cut fits on one, my Epson printer on the other. It's very, very sturdy, so I feel very comfortable with that. Not only that, it is on wheels. So, and I have a long extension cord. If I want to, I can pull it up to my desk to use it. So I use that, and it's worked out really well. On this little cart right here, this little cart has nothing in it, and I keep it that way. And the reason I do that is that cart is when I'm doing projects and I need to sort things out, I use that, okay? And the cool thing about that is I did have, like I said, the table over here. And what I found with the table is I would pile things on top of each other and it would become a big mess. And I got to the point where I had bins where I sorted things on the table, but I thought, you know, that's valuable real estate in here for me. So I got that little cart that fit right there. I had to find something that would fit in this little space. That's the hardest part of this craft room, is I have to make sure that whatever I get fits in the space that I have. So, okay, so in these bins here, this under there, this is my my project. This is my mermaid journals. I'm working on 3 different ones, and they're all in this top container. These are empty right now because I have 4 bins, 2 in each, and that is for projects. Okay, so when I'm starting a project, I will put stuff in there. This last one, and the only thing I have to tell you about these origami shelves is they do not slide in and out very easily. My ones that I got from the Container Store, they're real easy. These do not, but they are very sturdy. These are all covers that need to have journals made out of them. All in here. That's all that is. So that's kind of all my pending. Over here is my only, this doesn't really make a lot of sense, but that is all the stuff that I might use in my Scan and Cut or in my Empress or my die cut machine. So that's there, okay? Under here, I don't want to show that, but that is my stuff for my giveaways. This is future projects that I'm going to do on my channel. And here's this whole thing is all future projects. I think of things, I get all the stuff that I'm going to need, and I put it in one of these little bags, and then I put it in there. And I may or may not do it, but I sort through there usually about a week or two ahead, and I decide what I'm going to do. And that's how I make a decision. But things come to me, and I have to sort through and do that, or I'll forget. Okay. This up here, I don't know what to tell you. I had a lot of paint and glue and stuff like that. This is sorted out by kind of all metallics. There's glue in the back. There's more glue. This is all like specialty paint in here. Gosh, there's a whole thing of Mod Podge. There's a bunch of rags in the back. These are just old droppers that containers that I kept. Over here, this is all, gosh, it's kind of all overflow. But I have a lot of stuff in here, like my glycerin, my baby oil, coffee, extra alcohol, wipes, scrubbies, things like that. Down here, I have, on this Lazy Susan, more paint stuff, spray paint. And like I used to do, like I said, a lot of different crafts. So I have different chalk paint and waxes and things like that. It's hard to get below here, but I'm going to show you. So down there, I have more paint, stuff like that. And then the 4 containers on the bottom all contain just paint. That's all it is. Just these small paints, which I really need to go through because I haven't used them that much. So probably half of them are probably dry. But anyway, that's all of that. Let's see. On the side, I have hanging up is my gel plate. Underneath that, you can't see it, but I have hanging up is my thing for my Cricut. My Scan and Cut one is on the other thing hanging up. On top, this is my other little divider thing, or my holder thing that I got at for $100 for all 6 of them. I think I had 4. I got 4 white and then these 2 silver. And you can see these things just glide in and out so easily. The origamis do not, but they are sturdier. So it's I guess a trade-off. Okay, so on top, I have my old Cricut, and I don't use it very often, but when I do use it, it is on a long extension cord, so I can pull it to my desk if I want to, or I can just plug it in by my desk. This is supposedly here. Hopefully I'll use it for that. When I use dies, I can just throw them in there and then sort them out later. I can sort things out here. I do use this occasionally at my desk if I'm, gonna just be doing little things. I use this all the time. I love it. I have it on a long extension cord, so I can just pull this up. My desk is right over here. I just pull it to my desk if I'm going to be doing a lot. If I'm just going to do 1 or 2 things, I just do it right here. I usually turn it sideways like this, and that's how I use it. The same thing here. If I need this, I can easily put it up to my desk. Okay, underneath here, I have all the plates for everything, and I keep them all in here. My little brushy thing, all that. It's all in that top drawer. These drawers are messy, but somewhat organized. So I'm going to kind of go through those really quick. These just have different cutting tools and I keep them in these plastic bags from, and my foil tools. And I keep them in these plastic bags I got at the dollar store if they'll fit in there. I like things that I can see through. Again, if I have to look, then I'm not going to use them. So anyway, so I have them in here. Let's see here. Oh, okay. So we went through that one. This is just my miscellaneous beige stuff that I needed something that was close by. Because I had this in another section of the room and I was having to get up and down to go get it. And this is just things that I use a lot in journals, a lot of scraps, so I kept that there. This whole drawer in here is stuff like stencils, doilies that I use for coffee dyeing and spraying, all in there. This red thing right here is just words, anything to do with words. And I have it in red because I've lost it a gazillion times, so it kind of stands out. These are all different kinds of different papers that I might use. This is all pictures, you know, people type things. This is all, there's some die cuts, junk mail, eco dye, just stuff like that. And I have them all separated in there. This one here, this is all stuff that I use for collage. And I have that all in here. And they're all separated, somewhat separated by the types. And every once in a while they get commingled. And they are right now probably. Okay, so these drawers over here. This is a mess. But this is basically stuff like clear bags I have in here. I have my Tyvek in here. I've got my magnet things that I use to file my die cuts. I've got my foam in here. I have my mixed media paper. It's just kind of odd things that they don't need their own drawer, but they need to be put away. That's kind of what they're in my brain. That's how I think of it, okay? And you have to file things the way you think they're going to work and how you would look for them. I mean, this works for me. It may not work for anybody else. It may not be organized enough, but this is organized enough for me, okay? It can get a little better, but honestly, guys, it'll get a little better and then it's just going to go back to the way it was. And this works for me. Okay, so this is just anything, again, that's kind of, now this stuff probably should not be in here, but all the rest of it is just, in my mind, anything that's brown paper. I've got a lot of envelopes in here that I use. Just bags. Just a lot of miscellaneous stuff, coffee filters, crepe paper, chipboard, that kind of thing. This next one's kind of a spillover of the same thing, and I do have my recycled, you know, stuff that I have from shipping in here, that kind of thing, a few bags, brown bag type things. Down here is all my coffee dyed stuff. I have coffee dyed paper at the bottom, and in these containers I have doilies and envelopes and things like that, and the paper's at the very bottom. I do need to get better at organizing that, I think. But anyway, that's that. On top, I have all of my stamps, and I have them somewhat separated. I don't have them, I just have them by what I'd use them for. Like I have vintage stamps, sports and ladies, baby, you know, holiday, that type of thing. The ones in front I haven't filed yet, or I'm going to use, and this is really here because I'm going to use these on my next video. So I've sorted through and I found them and put them up here. These are my dies. Again, these are ones that I'm going to use. So I have them sitting at front, and then the one I either put them in front if I'm going to use them, or it means I have to file them. So, and then these are all sorted. These are all on, they're all on magnetic plates. I did start keeping the covers and stuff, or the information from the maker, and putting it on the back. I don't know if I have one like that so I can show you, because a lot of them I did not do. You know, until before I did videos, nobody cared where, I didn't care where I got them from. But anyway, let's see. For instance, like this one, I kept the information in the little packet so that when I do a video, I can tell you. But a lot of them I didn't do that because I wasn't really doing that. This is all embossing folders. And again, I have dividers in all those. These containers I got when I bought my other containers. I think they were all, I bought them all at the same time. But I wanted longer ones to fit these in so I wouldn't have to have more containers up here. These are some more clear stamps. This is one that I use a lot. I had it in front. But again, these are all just divided. These dividers are just plastic folders that I bought at the dollar store and cut out. And so that's how I did all that. So that's them. The next one is I have my large wood stamps. I don't have a lot of them. I had more. I got rid of a bunch. But these are the ones that I use or might use. These are all big sponge stamps. And I mainly use those when I use my gel plate. I was going to throw those away. And I realized they work really good on my gel plate because they're a big image. These are other stamps that are smaller, but they're block stamps in there. Again, I had these, I had different things. These were used for something else and I consolidated in here. And I was like labeling everything, but then I realized I can see what's in them. There's really no point in doing that. These are the Cricut cartridges that I might use and do use if I use them. I have other ones, but I just put them in a different spot because I'm not going to use them. On top, that was the thing I was talking about over here. This is how I have my stickers all divided up. I'd like to figure out a better way to do that. And I may leave them up there for now though, because I don't use them very often. So I may just leave them. This is just some die cuts and stamps that are too big to fit in those trays. The really big ones, and I have them all in there separated. I won't go into all that now just because it would take forever if I do every single thing. Let's see, what else haven't I done? I've done all that. Okay, so I'm trying not to move too quickly. In my desk tour, I talked about my armoire that I had, but I'm going to show you inside because we did the outside. I have two little things from the dollar store, and this is where I keep my paper. I use this in my journals, but I also use it, you know, just to have something on my desk. These are my small pads. I don't have a lot of paper pads in here. I think these are double. No, they're just single. I have all of my little 6x6 pads right here. These are all just different kits that I have. And I just have this one side here and then this side here. These are just kits, all of them, on this side and that side. On top, I have a few 8x8 pads, not that many. Down here, I have, let me move this so I can get more light in here. Okay. Down here, I just have, these are my paper pads that I have. That's all I have. I did consolidate some, and I can just flip through them. I have like a little divider thing there that keeps them from flopping around. I did used to have them just sitting in there and they would bend, but this way they don't bend. I have that in there. I have these two boxes here, and this is for me just for scraps, small scraps, big scraps. I just put in there and then I kind of sort them out later. This is a journal that I'm actually working on. And here, this is all, and I need to go through, this is just all cardstock that is solid, 12 by 12 cardstock. That's all it is. And I do have it divided up by color. I don't use it that often, So I kind of left it that way. I think I'm going to get another divider and have them sideways. So I think I'm going to change that. This is just the contact paper that I use to make my boards. And I have a few extra pieces. I could put that in a different spot for sure. But I think I just stuck it in there. I'm going to put that back. So that's the inside of that. On top, I just have little tchotchkes, pictures of my family, my husband, my kids. Up there is my mother's button box. It was my grandmother's. It's very precious to me, and that's why I have these little angels in front. This is a clock my mother gave me that she said she won in her bunco group, and it was ugly, and I thought it worked great in this room. And I every time I look at it, I think of her. On top, that lampshade, I got the zebra lampshade, and I had the boa from a Halloween costume, and I put that on there, and I thought they went well. I've always got candles sitting around. I have a few other little tchotchkes. I have some organizing things back there. I have there's actually 3 containers of this hat box. I got that at a thrift store, and I really need to put something in it because it's just wasted space. And then I have another organizer back there that I'm not using, so I need to think about that. These are just my boards that I use when I take pictures. Right here, and that just fits there. There's a gap, so it's a good place for it to fit. Okay, down here, inside of here, I have divider. I have these little containers I got from the dollar store, and all of this is just, I'm not going to go through every one, but I just have things in here, and then I have it labeled so that I can find it. And they're kind of too big to fit in an ephemera thing, and there's too many of them. So I just kind of put them all in here and labeled them, and that works pretty well. I also can reach this right from my desk, so that's a cool thing. So that's what I have all of these in. The second drawer is the same thing, but these are different containers, and they just kind of have different things. I actually like these better because I don't have to label. I like things I don't have to label. I really do. I mean, I was going to label them, but again, I thought, well, that's dumb because you can see through them. And if you label them and then you change things, well, then you got to take the label off, put another one on. You know, I only label things now that I can't see through. You know, the bottom drawer is, and I think I'm going to change this too. Whoops, I almost fell, guys. Sorry. I'm sliding on my chair and almost fell. This is stuff that I use for my scrapbooking, but I really don't like how this is working out, so I may change that out. That's a big thing I have to say. You have to be prepared to change things. I'm not going to go over what's on these shelves because I did that in my desk video, so you know, that's just extra stuff up there. Okay, so this is my sink area. There's a bathroom over there. On the back of this door, this is one thing I did get. I did have this on the inside hanger, and I realized I was having to take everything off to get my step stool, so I wasn't using my step stool. And a couple times I tried to get on my rolling chair, which is, I advise not to do that. Didn't work out well. So this is my old step stool that I have that's been used when painted. But anyway, I was trying to get this, and I had all those things on top of it. Well, I was just not using it, so because it was too hard to get to. So I changed that. I do have 2 rolling carts, and I will pull those out, and I'll tell you what's in them in just a minute. And they come in very handy, and I love having them. Leave those. Okay, so this is my closet. I have my broom here. I have a little vacuum in the corner and a mop. I have some other paper here and a very long ruler. In here, this side is all scrapbooking stuff that I have, mainly different projects, all the way up and down here. This right here is just, I had piles and piles of cereal boxes, all kinds of stuff, and I finally, you know, come on, how many can you really use? So I got rid of a bunch. This is what I kept. This side I keep empty because whenever I pull these out, and I don't want to have to take it to my desk, I can just pull this up here and then sort through it. Okay, I don't have to take it and bring it back in. And so I was having problems with not having a place to set this when I was doing that. So I did that. Anyway, each one of these on this side all has to do with junk journals. Like I'll have, and I do need to label these because even though these are see-through, you can't really see what's in them. So I have stuff like napkins, or I'll have extra paper, or these are like all little card things. These are all more napkins. I have a lot of napkins. These are all paper bags. This is more papers. Move that. You know, these are all doilies. This is all kind of cards. This is, I don't know. This is just weird paper. Oh, that's just scrap paper. Yeah. That is receipts, stuff like that. This is colored paper bags and more paper bags. Oop, didn't mean to go up that quick. I really need to sort through here a little bit more. The stuff on top over there has nothing to do with anything I do in here. But I could put like those rolls that were in that closet. I could put that in there. I don't know what I'm thinking right now. I do have to sort through. All of this up here in this part, these are all pictures and things that I actually have all divided. And a lot of it I have scrapbooked, and these are duplicates, or they're not just pictures, but memory stuff, you know, from when your kids are small and stuff like that. And I do need to digitize some of this and get rid of it. I could put all of this in another closet, and I may do that. This is more of the same that I have not divided yet. This is stuff that I haven't divided that I need to put in those boxes up there. This and this, these and those I use, these clipboards I use, if I do my crafting classes, and I use these little trash cans, so I keep those. This I got, and I have used some of these. Whenever I do any type of scrapbooking, I divide up my pictures and stuff in these, so I keep those on hand. These drawers are all different types of crafting, like my glue guns, empty containers. These are just corks I bought for something. This is stuff for my label maker. These are all foam things. These are just clothespins and those little depressor things. These are just pipe cleaners. And these are ribbons, and the only reason I'm keeping them, they have to do with my kids' high school. And if I do any more scrapbooking with that, I use those. These are just all like rulers and stuff. I have like too many of those, but I don't know. I just have a lot. This is this is a bedazzler, and I only keep it because one of my sons, oh gosh, he was like a freshman in high school, and he bought that for me, and I thought it was really cute that he noticed his mother like bedazzle things. And this is more bling stuff. And I did projects with this, and that's why I have it, and I really probably need to get rid of it. These are all plastic beads that I used to melt down. This is just more like spoons and stuff. that I use. There's some gloves. Just so that I have, well, I didn't even know these were in there. See, I was looking for these the other day. Who would have thought to look in there for that? Well, see, that's where you have to go through your stuff. Okay, so this is just extra tape, you know, because you never have enough adhesives, and more adhesive. And this is just, see, this shouldn't be in here either. This is stuff that I did a project with. So probably I don't need all that. These are just empty bags here that I use to cart things around. And then there's my cart that I take if I go on a crop or something. This little table is just a fold-out table that I use if I need more space. I don't use this board. I had it hanging up, but I don't use it anymore. Anyway, let me show you my carts. And I think we'll be done. Oop, I'm moving too fast. Sorry, guys. I really apologize for that. Okay, so the carts, I'm just going to go through them really quickly, not in detail. But this one cart here, this is all my embossing powders. I have all of my, not all of them, but I have a lot of my blocks here. I don't have a ton. So I have those. This has all of my extra ink that I have up here. I don't have a ton of ink, but what I do have, I have it all in here, divided up. So I have all that. The very bottom, I have just a few other things. This really shouldn't be in here. It's in the wrong container. But this is just stuff that I use mainly for stamping and embossing. There's just a few other stamps down here that I have. This cart, let me move this closer. This cart is my mixed media cart, and I have a lot of my gesso, texture pastes, and stuff like that. Things that I use all in mixed media. They're all in here. Different sprays I use. And these are just different things that I use maybe when I'm using my gel plate or whatever. Oops, I'm going to move down here. These are all different sprays that I have. Most of these I've made on my own. Different mica powders that I have that I use all the time. And the bottom is, I think it's more gesso, alcohol ink. I do have these little spoons and things in here, brushes, and just extra supplies. I have a plastic cover in case I need it. But anyway, I just basically have a mixed media, and then I have my stamping. Sometimes it gets mixed up a little, like I guess that other paint was in there. But I do use these, and I take these. I'm sitting right now at my desk, and I will put, if I'm using something, I'll just take this, put it right next to my desk, and when I'm done, I just take these, one or two or whatever, and I just roll them right back into my closet because I don't really have room to keep them outside, but they just roll around. That's what helps me get to the point where I can actually do things, because I have, you know, things that can move around with me. Anyway, that is pretty much, I think, the end of my tour. So that is my detailed craft room tour, and the desk tour and everything around the desk. I did that already, so that will be in the playlist if you want to see that. So thanks for watching, and we will see you again soon.